Well, welcome everybody to Dr. Scott's Maths Made Simple. Tonight we're doing long division with my doggy. So what we're doing is dividing numbers without a calculator. Let's say you had to divide 471 divided by 3. Well, that's the same as saying 471 divided by 3. Exactly the same thing. The way we do long division is we put the 3 here, we put a bracket, and a long line. We put 471 point decimal 0 decimal. We'll put a decimal above as well. Just remember that for later. So 3, the way we do it, how many times does 3 go into 4? It goes once. And there's 1 left over. 3 into 17 goes 5. 5 3s are 15, and there's 2 remaining. 3 into 21 goes 7. So as it turns out, 3 goes into 471 exactly 157 times. If you remember what I said one other time, we know 471 is divisible by 3 because we add up the numbers and it's divisible by 3. 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 1 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3, but that's an aside. So this is how we do long division. I'll show you a slightly more complicated one now, as you knew I would. Let me see. What about 2,497 divided by 5? You could sort of do that in your heads maybe if you took a while, and probably I could too eventually. It's easier to do long division. So 2,497 divided by 5, so we put the 5 here, like that. We put the big bracket, put the long line, 2,497.0, and there's a decimal here as well. 5 into 2, just like we did last time. 5 into 2 doesn't go. So we could put a 0 there if you like, it doesn't matter, you can put nothing. So 5 into 2 doesn't go. 5 into 24 goes 4 times, because 4 5s are 20, and there's 4 left over. 5 into 49, well 9 5s are 45, and there's 4 left over. Again, because 45 from 49 leaves 4. 5 into 47, again, goes 9 times. 9 5s are 45, and there's 2 left over. Now this is why we got the decimal point. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly, so we can bring it through into the decimals if we need to. 5 into 20 goes 4. So there's our answer. Our answer is 499.4. So that's why we have the decimal there, in case it doesn't go evenly. Let's do another one because that was so much fun. What about if I said to you, I'm going to write it the other way this time, 725 divided by 0.6. Now that's looking a little bit tricky, but I think you'd agree if you multiply the top and the bottom by 10, which you can do because whatever you do at the top, you do at the bottom and you're okay. So multiply the top by 10, that means 7,250 divided by 6. Same thing. So that equals that. So if you're going to do long division, don't start trying to put in 0.6. It's too hard. I can't do that. Not that I'm smart. Just ask anyone. Now, we're going to do this. 6 into, we've got our big bracket, big long line, 7,250. And we're going to put 0.0 again in case we need it. 6 into 7 goes 1, and there's 1 left over. 6 into 12 goes 2 exactly, and there's nothing left over. 6 into 5, well it doesn't go, so that's 0. 6 into 50 goes, I think you'll find 8 6s are 48. So it goes 8 times, 8 sixes are 48, and there's 2 left over. 6 into 20, now we're in the decimal. 6 into 20 goes 3, because there are 3 sixes or 18. And we can continue these zeros as long as we want, if we have to. So 6 into 20 goes 3, 3 sixes are 18, there's 2 left over. 6 into 20 goes 3, there's 2 left over. You can see what's happening here. 6 into 20 goes 3. So we've got 0.3 reoccurring. Sometimes I put reoccurring with a line above the top. So the answer to this sum, this original sum that I gave you, which is the same as this one, is 1208.333 reoccurring. That's actually the answer. So the point of showing you this one was you're dividing by a decimal. Let's multiply everything by 10 to get it into easier numbers to manage without any decimals. What if I said to you 365 divided by -7? What's that going to equal? Well, my first question to you is, pardon me, a positive number divided by a negative number is going to give a negative number. So whatever our answer is, it's going to be negative. If you've got a negative number, say -14 over -7, you'll get a positive number. The answer is 2, a positive 2. If you've got -14 over 7, the answer is a negative number because you've got a negative dividing by a positive, and your answer is going to be a -2. So we're just getting that in our heads. We're dividing a negative number into a positive number, so we know our answer is going to be negative. Whenever there's one negative with dividing or multiplying, you're going to end up with a negative number. So a negative over a negative will equal a positive. A negative over a positive will always equal a negative, and a positive over a negative will always equal a negative. You see the negatives dominate if there's only one of them. If there are two of them, they cancel out and you get a positive with dividing or multiplying. So coming back to our original sum, 365 divided by -7. So we're going to do this long division again, just like last time. So we have -7 here. We have our brackets, our long line. We've got 365.0. There's a decimal, there's the decimal. Now I know my answer is going to be negative for reasons we discussed before. So I'm going to put a negative here to remind myself that our answer is negative. -7. 7 into 3 doesn't go. It's too big. 7 into 36. Well, 5 sevens are 35. So I'd say we put a 5 there. And there's 1 left over. 7, or -7 into 15 goes twice. And there's 1 left over. 2 sevens are 14, and there's 1 left over. 7 into 10 goes 1, and there's 3 left over. 7 into 30 goes 4, because 4 sevens are 28, and there's 2 left over. 7 into 20 goes only twice, and there's 6 left over. 2 sevens are 14, and then 6, and so on and so forth. So we get this long answer. But what I really want you to remember is that 365 divided by -7 equals 52, -52, don't forget, 0.142. Now usually your teachers will tell you how many decimal places they want you to go to. They might say round it to the nearest 2 decimal places. in that case it would be minus 52.14, just like that. If it was just to one decimal place, it would be minus 52.1. So that's the end of long division tonight. I hope it helps you. I tried to show you dividing by decimals and dividing by, say, a negative number, just to show you the different things you can do with it. It's a useful tool if you have to do it without using a calculator for whatever reason. And did you know that Australia has 9 of the 10 deadliest snakes in the world? The deadliest snake in Australia used to be the taipan, which I think is spelt Taipan. That was the deadliest land snake in the world. And they thought there was a variant, they being the scientists, thought there was a variation or a cousin living in the desert, which was also a taipan, except not that long ago they realised the snakes living in the desert are not taipans, and they're actually a different type of snake, and they're called a fierce snake. A fierce snake, and it took over from the taipan as the deadliest snake in the world, deadliest land snake in the world. So the fierce snake is number 1, taipan's number 2, and the common brown, which is very common in Australia, unfortunately, the common brown snake is the 3rd most deadliest land snake in the world, number 3. Okay, enough of snakes. I don't want you having bad dreams. Thank you for listening to me. Like and subscribe if you wish. Thank you.